When life gets unpredictable, preparation matters. In medicine, it's all about staying alert, ready for whatever comes through the door. On the road, it's no different. That's why Volvo designs vehicles to help anticipate risk, reduce harm, and protect lives. The Volvo XC90's advanced safety systems inspire confident decisions wherever the road takes you. The Volvo XC90, for life. Proud sponsor of the Pit Podcast. Learn more at volvocars.ca/safety.
Our next guest, he loves the polls. I mean, he really loves the polls. He calls it Polapalooza. And I'm so happy to welcome Philippe J. Fournier back onto the show from 338canada.com. Also, QC125.com, Macleans, L'Actualité. He does it all. Hey, Phil, how you doing?
Good morning, Elias. So you saw the Polapalooza, huh?
I did see Polapalooza. I was very impressed. Now, Philippe J. Fournier, we have a challenge this morning, okay?
Okay.
I received a text message at 514-800. Our listeners, they send me the comments all show. So I just got this note from a listener, and I took it as a challenge, okay? The listener says this: please try not to use the word Trudeau in your next interview, okay? So I'm going to say challenge accepted, and I guess I don't know if he was talking about me or both of us. You can do it, you can do not, but I'll just use other phrases for the Prime Minister, and I won't use the word that he just mentioned. Okay, we're cool
Very
on that.
Well.
First,
yes, we are.
First subject though, I'm just we'll skip the Liberals just for a bit because I do want to talk about something that I know was getting you going on Twitter, and that is the new logo of the Conservative Party of Canada. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, you basically take the Royal Canadian Air Force logo, you tilt the maple leaf like by 45 degrees, and you take the solid circle and you cut out a portion so it looks like a C. Boom, there's your logo. Your thoughts, Phil, on the new logo and how it helps or hinders the Conservative Party?
That's a very good question because actually I do like these kinds of stuff. Well, I'll start with this. The Conservative Party logo really needed some freshening up. It dated from 2003. It was the original logo that they used in the first Harper campaign, and it looked like it was done with Windows 98. And so it really needed a refresh. I'll start with this. The new logo, well, again, as you said, it's really close to the Royal Canadian Air Force and the Winnipeg Jets. Yes. But then again, Erin O'Toole was in the Air Force. And so I guess they wanted the logo closer to the leader's image. Mm-hmm. And there's a sense in the conservative circles that let's say there is an election this fall or maybe even this spring. And let's say Erin O'Toole loses this election. He could remain as leader for a second shot. From what I'm hearing, which was not the case with Andrew Scheer. And so it looks like they're trying to go on a long haul with Erin O'Toole, and maybe that logo represents that. But what do I know?
Yeah,
so what did you think of the logo?
Well, I mean, it is a blatant ripoff of the RCAF, the Royal Canadian Air Force, and every single second, Erin O'Toole, he never wastes a single opportunity to remind us that he was in the Royal Canadian Air Force. He's wearing the sweaters in every photo. I mean, so I saw it. I said, okay, this is totally on brand and a break with the past. And I would agree, by the way, with all of those pundits that are saying Erin O'Toole will not get just one kick at the can. He will get a couple of kicks at the can. I agree with that. If they go to a quick election, let's say in the fall, it is going to be a difficult task. And I think they will let Erin O'Toole give him the time to be known by Canadians before before they would jettison him for yet another leader. Okay.
You said it was a ripoff from the Royal Canadian Air Force, but is it a ripoff if it's intentional?
Yeah, that's right. It's an homage.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. It's not a ripoff. It's an homage. Okay, so let's talk about Prime Minister Instagram and his fortune and his fate. What do the polls tell us, Phil? Because that's your game on how the Liberals are doing when it comes to the Canadian population and support.
Well, that's a very good question, Elias. And it's interesting to see the shifts in the recent months because, as we know, we've discussed this together before. During the summer, the Liberals were alone on top of voting intentions by double digits. They were projected over 200 seats at the House of Commons. And so they were riding high on those and that COVID bump, right? But when we look at the recent numbers, it's strange. They're close enough so that every party is on edge. And I think those numbers right now that we see tells us that no party will want to go into an election this fall. I just do not believe it. And I know the Ottawa bubble likes to talk about election talk and snap election discussions. But right now, when I look at the numbers, the Liberals are leading, but not by that much. It's not a comfortable lead. The Conservatives did not get any bump from the arrival of Erin O'Toole. The NDP is just middling at 16 or 17%. And the Bloc Québécois is still at the same level from last year. They did not grow. They did not shed any support. And so basically, who wants to go into this election right now that very few Canadians actually want, according to the numbers? So this is what the numbers are telling me right now.
We're with poll prognosticator Philippe J. Fournier from 338canada.com. PJ, let's talk about the Liberal support for how they've dealt with the pandemic, okay?
Right.
Because I have seen the poll numbers, when you ask Canadians who they'd vote for, and it does show a sort of neck and neck, maybe sometimes a statistical tie. But I think another really important poll number right now is the percentage of Canadians that say the Liberals are doing a good job with the pandemic. And I think it's important because if we head into we're in a second wave according now to the Quebec government as well, but if we're in the second wave and numbers are getting worse and people become more concerned, I think that number matters in case we do end up at an election. So do we have an indication there? How does the public view today how the Liberals have done managing the pandemic?
You are absolutely correct, Elias. Yes, it is true that about only 35% of Canadians say they would support the Liberals in an election right now, but also about 70% say they are either satisfied or satisfied enough of the Liberals' handling of the pandemic. If you're an opposition party, you do not want to run against that. And again, if we go into another lockdown or if we have to increase restrictions, and it's going to hurt the economy again, and a lot of people are going to be out of jobs, and there will be some bankruptcy. How do you sell fiscal conservatism in that scenario? It would be really hard to do, and I know the Conservatives will try to do just that, but they have to be careful because when you talk about how it's such a terrible idea for the government to be spending, well, right now it's spending to help people. And I know there's a case for fiscal conservatism to be made, but right now, during a pandemic, when the interest rates are really low, I think they would be hard-pressed to campaign on this.
Quickly, Philippe, in BC, they are going to go to the polls.
Yes.
Some people were surprised. I'd love to know your thoughts and what do the polls say there? Why did the government in BC, the NDP government under John Horgan, decide, yep, we're going to the polls in a month?
Well, I think they looked at New Brunswick. And they figured, you know what, I want a majority too. And so John Horgan had a deal with the Green Party of BC because they had just enough support in Parliament to have the confidence of the chamber. And so they were supposed to go into an election next October 2021. But John Horgan looked at the poll numbers and he saw his satisfaction numbers around 70, 75, 80% of people in BC are happy. And I think it's just an attempt to, win over a majority, a first time for an NDP since 1996. So that's a long time ago. So I'm following the numbers there. For now, the NDP is leading. But again, there's a lot of people in BC who are unhappy about the fact that there's an election. So it could blow in their faces. We'll see in the coming days.
A brilliant mind. It's Philippe J. Fournier from 338canada.com and QC125.com. Philippe, I'm a fan. That's all I can say, right? It's pretty clear I'm a fan of yours. You can read him in Macleans and L'Actualité. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you kindly, Elias. Talk to you soon.